You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in. It's the Outspoken Sportscast here. You got your hosts Brian and Craig on Talks on Tuesday. What's going on, Craig?
Howdy, sir.
All right, brother. Well, we had a wild week 3. We're gonna talk about that. We got our picks. We have picks for games in the fourth week of the NFL. I can't believe it's the fourth week already. And we've got your headlines of the week coming up right after this, guys. Click. All right, guys, welcome in. Episode 156, Talks on Tuesday, week 3 edition here. Craig, I got you again this week in picks. I was 10-6.
Thanks, Baker.
Yeah, Baker was horrible.
I picked him twice,
40%.
and he screws me, and then I pick against him, and he doubles down and screws me again. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing there, Pat Mahomes. You lose to the bleeping Colts, the geriatric Matt Ryan and his hover round.
Yeah, you were 6-10. I was 10-6. So I'll take that week 3 victory, brother. Let's go. It's a good week for me.
Sweet.
All right, let's jump into the week 3 games. We've had
We had trash. That's what we had.
We had Steelers and Browns on Thursday Night Football. Battle of the backup quarterbacks.
Jacoby Brissett decides to actually be a quarterback and act like he knows what he's doing. Thanks for that. And then I don't know why I go with Mitch Trubisky, who can't throw his way out of a wet paper sack.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper actually had a good game there for Brissett, and they were on. Now, again, this is another one of those games where
and defense
put in the rookie.
Good.
Put in the rookie.
They're gonna have to. Trubisky's Trubisky. I mean, that's what he is. He's just. We tried to give him a chance with an actual organization that knows what they're doing, and he's terrible at football.
Terrible. Saints and Panthers, 22-14. Panthers get the victory there. Baker Mayfield was not good, but they still
but Jameis Winston was not that good. Worse.
What happened to Jameis that came out last year that was on fire?
Well, he didn't have 4 vertebrae that were cracked and snapped like a.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Held together by duct tape and bubble gum, like
Elmer's glue and
So,
I mean, are they better off just sitting him? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, do you go with Taysom Hill? Do you go with an actual backup? I don't know. I mean, Sean Payton used Taysom Hill, but he used him as like a Swiss Army knife type deal. He only threw the ball, a half a dozen times. I don't know what this new guy would use Taysom Hill, or if he'd go to the backup, or what he would do, or how he would do it. But right now, a team that people were picking to go to the NFC Championship looks like it can't get out of its own way.
Yeah, those people were dumb. I don't know who decided.
Well,
we're gonna
I
pick a
say
Saints.
that, but they also picked the Philadelphia Eagles, who looked like world beaters. Now, granted, they haven't really played anybody, so I'm going to hope that that's the
Yeah,
case.
and their schedule looks pretty easy.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Until they
you
play
know,
Dallas, they don't really play anybody.
They got Green Bay on the schedule later on, but
Yeah, no,
not much
it's
in there.
basically their schedule's reversed to Dallas. Dallas plays all the tough teams up front, and then after the bye week, it's a bunch of they should stack wins together. So
next game we got the Texans travel to Chicago, and you picked. This is a coin flip game. Two crappy teams. I picked the Bears to win. You picked the Texans to win, and because Davis Mills throws a terrible interception, sets up the Bears the victory at the end with a field goal that actually didn't double doink, went in, and they were able to win that game. But that is two terrible teams. Not good to watch. Colts and Chiefs. What in the world happened here? The Colts decide to wake up. Their defense was able to hold Mahomes. They only gave up 17 points.
Well, just the whole game. The guy from Kansas City goes and fair catches it on the 3-yard line and gives them field position that's terrible. And he muffs a punt and gives the Colts a 5-yard field. Every break that could go. And really, to be honest with you, two of the points that Kansas City got shouldn't have counted because Kelsey was down before the inside on the 2-point conversion, and they called it. They overruled it on the challenge, and even Kelsey on the sideline was like, "Sweet, I just pulled one off there." So that you can't. They Kansas City just didn't look. It was just one of those days. They just didn't look good. They didn't look like they had the first 3 weeks, or first.
They look like we're missing Tyreek Hill. This is the team we thought they might look like when we talked about Patrick Mahomes and missing Tyreek Hill and
not the ball and not being able to no running game, and the Colts actually put a game together and actually blocked some people, gave Ryan some time, but he still has like 7 fumbles, 3 interceptions, and a partridge in a pear tree over there. So let's not say Matt Ryan is the second coming of Deal. So
Desperation Bowl. The Tennessee Titans win that one 24-22. Both these teams facing going 0-3, and the Raiders can't get the job done. They held the Titans from scoring 0 points in the second half, but they just fell short. They fell short on 2-point conversion try.
Just the bottom line is well, and the Raiders just this team was supposed to be better. Yeah, this team was supposed to be better, and Adams is frustrated and not getting used like he thought he was going to get used. He came out the first week and got used properly, but they didn't win, and then they haven't really used him the last 2 weeks. Carr looks average at best.
3 interceptions.
They have no running game. Jacobs is just an average NFL running back is all he is. It doesn't add up. This offense was supposed to be better. McDaniels is supposed to be the offensive guru, like the guy that led the Patriots to 1,000 Super Bowls. And I saw a meme the other day that said that Bill Belichick has never named an offensive coordinator because he knew Josh McDaniels would be right back. Because he might be getting fired if he goes 0-4. It is brutal in Vegas right now. It is. Because they're not going to make the playoffs. 100%.
Their season's over. Yep.
0-3 in the division of doom. You're not going to make the playoffs, and especially with Miami. Miami could be 4-0.
0-3 in a division, in any normal division, that's a tough battle. 0-3.
Well, the only other division, if you were in the Jacksonville division, maybe you could make it up. But other than that, then
you're not making it up.
You're not making it up. Not in the division of death.
Hey, Jacksonville leads the division. All right, let's not throw them under the bus. They lead the division right now after blowing away the Chargers at home. Blowing them away 38-10.
I would like to think this is because Herbert's ribs hurt, but Herbert doesn't play defense. So I don't really know.
That was bad. Bosa got hurt in this game. He didn't play very well.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything on that, so I don't know for sure.
I don't know how bad it is.
How bad? Yeah, I don't know if he's going to miss some time.
I think it's day to. I think they said day to day.
Well, then that's better.
They had Los Angeles had 12 rushes for 26 yards as a team.
Yeah.
12 for 26 is pathetic.
That's
wow. And
they have
Sony Michel had 22 of those.
Yeah.
Where's Eckler at?
I don't know.
He had 4 carries for 5 yards. What? That's pathetic. Robinson went off for 100-yard rushing over there. Trevor Lawrence 262 with 3 touchdowns, 71 QBR to Herbert, who had a touchdown, 1 interception. 39.5 QBR. It's just not gonna get it done. I'm guessing it's because the ribs. You would hope so.
Yeah, but like I said, he doesn't play defense, so I don't know. I have no idea. Very, very weird. Very, very uncharacteristic of a team who beat the Raiders and held with Kansas City. Very, very weird showing.
Yeah, very interesting. I when I saw that, I don't know which was the bigger upset, the Colts over the Chiefs or the Jags.
I would think the Colts over the Chiefs because everybody was healthy, and the Colts looked so miserable the first 2 weeks that they couldn't get out of their own way.
In our power rankings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the Chiefs looked like world beaters the first 2 weeks. Looked like they were going to run away with the division and hide. And then all of a sudden can't put up 17 points against the Colts team who tied with the Texans and lost, in week 2, and they looked horrible both weeks. So, anyhow,
this is an interesting game, Buffalo and Miami, and we knew this was going to be one to watch. I couldn't watch it. If you go look at the stats, every stat says Buffalo should have won this game. Freaking Josh Allen threw for 400 yards. Okay. Tua Tagovailoa threw for 186. They blew him out of the water in every stat. Every stat except turnovers. Miami came out and played. They did ball. They played some really good defense.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on with and the Buffalo.
You had some bad play calling. You had some bad decision making with timeouts, time management at the end of the game. Buffalo dominated every stat. And the bottom line is, this shouldn't even have been a game because Tua was clearly concussed right before halftime.
Hey, he had a back injury, Craig. It was his back. Let's not.
Does your back make your legs fold like spaghetti noodles? Because that's what it was.
That's what they're going with. It was a back injury. He says his back cramped up, his lower back tightened up, and kind of made him weak at the knees. And he's listed with a back injury. The NFL is investigating this, so that would be interesting. But he went and had some
concussion water at halftime and saw Teddy Bridgewater throw 2 into the dirt, and he was like, "Hey, get back out there!" And he's like, "I got you, coach," and tried to take some equilibrium pills and tried to play the second half. I don't know. I was very surprised by this. Buffalo looked good. Josh Allen had a guy wide open to end the game.
He threw it to his feet.
Throws it in the dirt. I don't know. Just some weird full moon.
Hey,
crazy.
Miami fought.
They did, and they played defense better than I thought they would.
I so wanted to pick them last week, and I said, "Nah, I can't."
Yeah, I couldn't because
I would have got that one right.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about the butt punt. All right.
Yeah, that was.
We got The butt fumble. Now we got the butt punt as they get the safety there.
And then we got the cat running out of bounds. Johnny Garoppolo running out of bounds and trying to throw a pass with his right foot on the white line, to where the guy from Detroit is tweeting, "Thank God I'm not the only one now." It just
talk about a horrible game. 11 to 10.
Another, yeah.
11 to 10.
And then the game last night was 6-3 until late in the third quarter, and then all of a sudden Saquon goes for 36, and then Dallas's offense wakes up and puts 14 up back to back because Danny Turnover over there does what he does best.
Well, when you pressure someone 25 times or whatever it was, that's going to happen. That's their offensive line is absolutely garbage.
Yeah, that's not fixed, by the way. It's just fixed as Cincinnati's offensive line.
Yeah, the game. Look, Cowboys expected to win that game, even with Cooper Kupp. He's a better quarterback than Danny Dimes.
Cooper Rush, not Cooper Kupp.
Rush, whatever. Cooper Rush. He'll be a starter somewhere after his 3-0 start there.
I hope to God he is, and I hope the NFL proves you and everybody else wrong on that guy, that clown.
I never said he's better than Dak. I just like to poke fun of you.
He's not
better than Dak.
He's not a starter. He's not a starter in the NFL. 32 teams said he couldn't hold a clipboard.
I don't know.
He cleared waivers.
I could see him starting for a team next year.
I'm gonna tell you right now, with all these quarterbacks going down, Dallas better do something because
sign and trade, baby.
if they put him back on the practice squad, you don't have to do anything but call him. If he doesn't stay on the active roster, somebody could go pluck him off there for free.
Well, they've got to they've got to keep on the active roster as much as Dak Prescott gets hurt. So, he's definitely not better than Dak. Let's not get this twisted. He started 3 games in the NFL.
And here's the deal.
They just beat the Giants. The Giants aren't good.
And that's my argument point is
like
what's going to happen. I can already tell you what's going to happen. Cooper Rush is going to come in here and beat a bad Bengals team. He's going to beat a terrible Giants team, and he's going to beat a terrible Washington Commanders team. And then Dak Prescott's going to come out and come back for the Rams game
and lose to the Rams.
And then probably turn around and lose to the Eagles because they're pretty good. And everybody's going to be like, Cooper Rush was 3-0 and undefeated, and Dak loses all the football games. Bah! And lose their ever-loving mind when Cooper Rush is playing high school teams and Dak Prescott playing the Super Bowl champs. People are comparing Cooper Rush's ceiling. This is his ceiling.
Yes, to Dak Prescott's
floor.
His worst.
Bottom rung. Here's a guy who had 103 quarterback rating for the entire season last year, won 12 games, won a division, and had 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, and Cooper Rush is the second coming of Jesus. Stop it.
Yeah, no, he's not better than Dak Prescott, but they beat the Giants. This is something y'all should have done.
Yes.
Good job. A win's a win. You move on to next week. We'll go from there.
Broncos.
Granted,
you can only play the team that's in front of you. I get it. Just like the Eagles can only play Jacksonville and the teams that are in front of them. I get it, but
hey, Jags might put up a fight. We'll see. They just beat the doors off to the Chargers. Well, Broncos. Are we ready? We might need to do a whole segment on the Broncos and is it ready to panic there of a Denver country? Even though you're leading the division right now, is it time to panic? Because
they're not leading the division, are they? Kansas City's the same record.
Let me see. Let me see standings. I saw something the other day that said they were in top of their division.
Anyhow, the offense.
They're tied for the number 1 spot.
Their offense is broken. Their coach has hired a game day coordinator because he can't do anything right. Russ looks like a shell of himself. I don't know if it's the offense they're running. I don't know if Father Time has won again and come and taken Russ for the
A little early.
a little early or what. But the bottom line is that looks broken. He doesn't look like he can. He doesn't look like he can function. He doesn't look like he's comfortable. He's throwing the ball all over the place. He doesn't have any chemistry with any of his wide receivers. Their wide receivers are getting hurt. The offensive line looks terrible. The run game looks Melvin Gordon is just like he's running a quick stand. Yeah.
Wash.
And so I have no idea what – that team was supposed to be a quarterback away. They got their quarterback, and now they've lucked it. They could very easily be 0-3.
Yeah.
And now they're 2-1 somehow.
And I wouldn't be as concerned, but they're playing bad football. The 49ers are not a bad football team. The 2 times before that, the Houston Texans, now they did win. They didn't look very good against them. They lost to Seattle. That's when you're like, okay, we can't barely compete with the teams that are supposed to suck this year. That's where the problem comes in. And you only win this game because Jimmy G gives you 2 free points and you win by 1 there. That's just a bad look for the Broncos country. Let's ride. And you're not riding very, very fast or very far. Don't look like your mic's muted.
Yeah, let's just ride into the cellar. Sorry, I had to do that
right into the sunset.
The dogs are playing Lion King right outside the door out here. Yeah, they're just riding right off into the abyss because Russ can't throw his way out of a paper sack. He just looks terrible. He's not running the football anymore. He has no mobility. His accuracy is questionable at best. It's just a bad look, and Nathaniel Hackett literally looks like he is in over his head as
looks
an
like
NFL
he can't hack it.
coach. Yeah,
look what I did there.
But what I'm saying is I just don't understand how you come from Green Bay and none of these problems exist, and now all of a sudden you're a head football coach and you literally look like you just are in panic on the sideline. Like he's literally looking for somebody to tell him what to do. Like he literally looks like he wants to just hand the clipboard and the headset to somebody else and go, I can't do it. Like he is literally having a panic attack on the sideline in the middle of a football game.
I wonder if Aaron Rodgers covered up a lot of his flaws.
But it's not. I guess he wasn't in charge of timing over there. I guess the head coach. I guess LaFleur was in charge of all that. I guess all he had to do was call plays or whatever. But my God, he looks like he just has no clue. Like this,
terrible.
Is this one of these guys that interviews good, but common sense is out the window?
Football common sense didn't make it with that guy. Hopefully they can turn it around. Look, I was hoping this thing would work out, but we'll see. I know it's only 3 games in, and maybe they'll turn it around. But what a horrible start for them.
What? Woo!
They could be 3-0 right now. And we'd still probably say this is a horrible start.
Absolutely, because they look. If you watch the games, they look horrible. Terrible. Yeah, no, 100%.
You had
100%.
You had Falcons in Seattle. Falcons won this one 27-23, and what's his face? Who's the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks?
Oh, Geno Smith?
Yes. He had one good game against the Broncos, and everyone was like,
this
guy's everything.
Oh, yeah.
He's the greatest.
Cooper Rush 2.0.
Cooper Rush 2.0.
Woo, and savior.
He lost the last 2 games, not getting the job done. No. And Atlanta, surprisingly, has fought hard in every game
Old
that they
man
played.
Marcus Mariota trying to revive his career.
Something. They win that one. The Rams take care of business with Arizona. Arizona did not score a touchdown. They had all field goals this time. The panic mode there, I think. I don't know about panic mode, but Arizona is a team I didn't believe in the beginning.
Well,
no. If they didn't play the choke of the team of the Raiders, then they would have won a game. They'd be 0-3 right now. So,
and they're feeling the loss of Hopkins. This is exactly what we said it would be. Is Hopkins covered up a lot of flaws because all Kyler had to do was run around like a little Madden guy and juke some guys out and then heave it up there, and Hopkins saved him about 80% of the time. Hopkins high points the ball and makes Kyler look like a hero and makes himself look like a Pro Bowler, and he saved a lot of faults and covered up a lot of Kyler bad plays and bad play calls and Cliff Kingsbury snafus by being the wide receiver that he is. And they don't have him now, and they don't have Christian Kirk, and guess what? They're average at best, just like we thought they were. They are starting this season.
Who we thought they were.
They are starting this season like they ended last season after fooling us for 8 or 10 or 12 games or whatever it is, where they went undefeated, and then all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden we're like, pump the brakes. Kyler's not what he is, and he's going to choke. And as soon as we said it on here, somebody listened to the podcast and they went, "Hey, Kyler's no good at football," and he hasn't been. The Raiders choked. That's the only reason they have a win. Kingsbury will be fired before the year's over, and they're going to have they're going to be left
before the year's over, huh?
They're going to be left holding the bag of Kyler pay bag and go, what are we going to do with all this? Because nobody's going to want him.
Eagles dominated the Commanders. They sacked Wentz 9 times. They scored all their 20. Eagles scored 24 points in the second quarter and said, I think we're good here, guys.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
Shut it down.
Let's just shut it down. 24-8. Look, they look good. You cannot.
They do.
Now I get it. They haven't played a lot of talent, and this offense to me looks like a college-style offense. A lot of running.
That's exactly what this guy has done. He has taken the strong parts of his game and used them. He's running the RPO. He's running college style. Probably went and called Oklahoma and said, "What's your offense? What are we running?
We just send that playbook over here."
Yeah, and because that's exactly what this looks like. Is we're not throwing the ball, into bad situations. We're picking and choosing. We're sticking it in the running back's gut. The quarterback, is reading whether he keeps it, whether he gives it to the running back, and eventually, all it's going to take is now there's 3 weeks of tape, and people in the NFL can make adjustments. Just like Cooper Rush had no tape really, and guess what? He's played a couple weeks. And people will learn how to defend Cooper Rush, and people will learn how to get around Tyler Smith and how he blocks. And all these guys don't have tape on them. And they do after 1 or 2 weeks, somebody will find the blueprint. Denver found the blueprint on Dallas last year. They found the blueprint on Kyler Murray, after 8 games. They found the blueprint on Garoppolo, after he beat the Rams, 5 of the first 6 times. They were able to get around him. If you it's just like a Major League Baseball player. When they first come in the league, they're hitting home runs because nobody knows where their hot spot is. Nobody knows where anything is. And then all of a sudden, you get 10, 12 games in, and the guy's swinging, got a hole in his swing because all you had to do was look at the tape. And all these NFL coaches do their research, and they will fix it. He's not going to get away with it long.
I don't. When I watch this team, they're playing really good. That they're doing what they do best, and that's what you call good coaching. You see what your quarterback can do, and you do what he does best, and you don't try and make him a back, a 3-step drop, 7-step drop quarterback who's going to throw the ball down the field. That's just not who he is. But they're doing what they're doing best. They're going to play good defense. They're going to get after the quarterback, and they're going to hope that 24 points is enough to beat you. And it's going to take a good defense. When they run into Dallas, that they will run into some issues. When they run into Green Bay's defense later on in the year, they will run into some issues. But right now they're flying high, and I didn't see this kind of a success for them so far, but they're putting it together. So
Yeah, nobody did. Nobody did because they didn't trust the quarterback. And I still don't know if I trust him. I just think I think he's got a good system, and I think somebody's going to have to put some pressure on him. And once he does, he has always been known that if you put pressure on him, he makes bad decisions. Nobody's really.
I'm trying to think of who I trust more, him or Lamar Jackson. And I don't know.
Lamar is okay. Lamar just needs about 30 minutes in the pocket. He needs to be able to make a sandwich back there, and then he can make the throw. Lamar can't make the throw on the run. He's not accurate on the moving and running out. Lamar beats you with his feet when he gets outside the pocket.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the Eagles quarterback. He will make you pay when you get him outside the pocket. If you keep him contained, and he's not a pocket passer. He's not a run on the throw and make pinpoint throws. But when you give him 30 minutes to back there and pick and choose which wide receiver, you can only your defensive backs can only cover for 7, 8, 10 seconds, and then somebody's going to get open. So if these guys can create time, and that's what they're doing, they're getting outside, they're creating time, they're creating space, and they're making throws because guys are the defensive back can't run around for 10 minutes and cover a guy. You just can't do it.
You got Bengals and Jets. Bengals finally win an easy one here. They win 27-12. This is one we both picked the Bengals to win. Easy peasy. Ravens take care of business in Foxborough. They beat the Patriots 37-26. Your mic is muted.
And that's going to be a bad deal with New England's took a bad loss, with the quarterback. That's going to be I don't even know. It used to be Jared Stidham. I don't even know who the backup is in
It's Brian Hoyer, and then
sweet.
And then you got a third string quarterback. The third string is a rookie from Tennessee. I think RJ was going off about this guy.
Baby,
forget his name.
Jesus,
yeah,
Brian Hoyer. That's not
the ultimate bus driver who doesn't win anything. Yeah, no. So they're looking for a new quarterback in next year's draft. So
Cooper Rush.
Yeah, there you go. You got the Vikings upsetting the Lions. Not really upsetting. The Lions should have won this one. They gave it
100%. It was an upset.
In the fourth quarter.
Matt, he has a brain fry. I mean, terrible time management, terrible play calling, terrible. Like, this was the Lions football game to win the whole game. The running back from Minnesota goes out hurt.
Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook goes out hurt. And Kirk Cousins doesn't look great. And it looked like the referees how they were going to pinpoint illegal contact. It looked to be like, hey, we're going to do that for this game. Detroit had 4 of those penalties. The officiating this week was atrocious. It was atrocious in the Detroit game. That's the second Detroit game that has been atrocious. Dallas, Noah Brown literally was tackled in the end zone. And the ref was just like, good to go. And they were like, but he tackled him. And then to even it up, I guess, the Giants run a crossing pattern, and Diggs is running across the route and blasts into Sterling Shepard, knocks him off his route, and they call offensive pass interference. And Shepard's like, that dude ran into me. And the ref's like, got it. And, I mean, it was atrocious. I mean, the Giants fumbled the football last night. I mean, the guy catches it, takes 2 steps. The guy from Dallas punches it out. Dallas falls on it, picks it up, and runs it. And the next thing I know, the Giants are snapping the football. I was like, wait a minute, what happened to the fumble? Like, it just went away. Like, I guess they called it. I don't know what they did. I was like,
never happened.
Yeah, it just didn't. The ball didn't fall on the
from the games I saw. There wasn't really. I mean, the refs did okay. The refs did okay in the games I saw. Packers were getting held left and right. We finally got one of those call. Green Bay wins 14-12. As my gosh, the Buccaneers make the defensive adjustments, and Green Bay doesn't do a damn thing on offense. They don't adjust, and we didn't score a single point or come close in the second half.
And Tom Brady,
my gosh,
scores the tying 2-point conversion, except you took too long and you had to delay a game on the 2-point conversion. What
Fournette was walking in the end zone untouched on that.
What could have got on his knees and crawled like a 2-year-old and made it. And then Brady looks at the sideline and goes, "I don't have any bleeping timeouts."
Yeah,
sorry, Tom, you used all those. You only get 3. Don't
blame
that guy.
Then the Jumbotron helped us out. You see that? You hear that?
Yeah,
Jumbotron. They interviewed Aaron Rodgers after the end of the game, and he said sometimes the Jumbotron shows something they shouldn't have. And apparently, from what they were able to find out is the Jumbotron zoomed in on one of the tablets that Tom Brady had as they called the timeout before. I think it was before the 2-point conversion. And I don't know. Aaron Rodgers saw something, gave it said, "Hey, Matt LaFleur, you have the best defensive." Yeah, apparently. And Rodgers said, "Hey, you got a good defense for this. It's the perfect defense to cover it." And they threw the ball, and we were able to bat it down and win the game. Now, what I don't understand, the Bucs 2-point conversion play took so long because they were doing all this stuff. They were spreading out and doing motion and just to run the ball. Why are you doing all that? You have Leonard Fournette. Put the ball down and let them run it. They do all that.
I'll tell you why they're doing it.
Why are they doing it?
Because the wide receivers they had
fumble the ball left and right.
No, they never played together. Cole Beasley has been on that team for 7 seconds. So he doesn't understand the plays. Scotty Miller is lining up in the outside. He's normally the slot guy. So he's running a whole nother route pattern. That deal. He doesn't know whether he's supposed to be on the line. He doesn't know whether he's supposed to be off the line. He doesn't know whether he's supposed to be in motion. He doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. So Brady's out here having to coach like he's in a Pee-wee football game. No, you on the line. No, you back up. No, you sit down. Guard, T to tight end, line up this guy. And next thing you know, he's out of time. He only has 25 seconds, not 6 hours to move every guy like he's the Pee-wee football coach where he grabs the guy by the jersey and lines him up and goes, "You stand here."
You run this route.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's like, "Post. You got the corner route. Oh my God!" And Brady, you can look at him. You can look at his face while he's out there on the football field for 3 weeks now. You can look at his face, and it's like, what the hell have I done? I came back for this. I came back to run a daycare center. That's what I'm doing. I'm Mrs. Doubtfire running a house that's on fire, and he doesn't.
Their offense hasn't looked good.
No,
man. There's something.
And they say wait till all the receivers come back. He had all the receivers the first week, and they looked like a house of fire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If Dallas has any offense the first week, then they lose that game. That offense looked terrible. They couldn't get
missing.
Yes.
It's
the
defense for Green Bay has
the camaraderie. They don't play together. They don't. It's like 12 individuals running around a football field.
Yeah, the Green Bay's defense played outstanding. This is a game that the offense tried to give it away. The game that
Aaron Jones did nothing again.
We only played one half and somehow held on. And this is, a win's a win. I'm not satisfied with it, but anytime you can beat Tom Brady and say suck it, and I'm good with that. So, those are your week 3 games. Let's pick week 4. Okay,
let's
All
see
right.
if we cannot.
Craig, you need another one. You need another good week because 10-6 is a good week. Last week,
I need to go 16-0 to even have a kind of chance to.
We got we got Dolphins and Bengals on Thursday night. Well, let's hope Tua's back injury is good to go. He's not seeing stars because of it.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I cannot.
You got to throw a red flag on that one.
Well, not because his head bounced off the turf like a rubber bounce ball, and
I didn't see it. But
what happened? He comes in and he throws the ball, and the guy shoves him, puts two hands in his chest and shoves him. Well, he just goes ass over tea kettle, blah, and his head bounces back off the turf, and he gets up and he's like, sees the flag that the ref threw because the ref throws a flag for hitting him late, and he's like, sweet. And then he goes to the lineman, and all of a sudden he grabs both linemen and literally falls to the knee and like falls down. And the linemen are like, come on. And then he takes another 2 steps and he falls again. And the lineman's like,
oh my
no,
gosh,
you're done. So they take him to the locker room. Bridgewater comes out, throws 2 passes, both of them in the dirt, like before they get to the line of scrimmage. I mean, just noses 2 footballs in the dirt. They go to halftime, and next thing you know, halftime ends, and here comes Tua out of the tunnel. They're like, what? what? And he's like, I'm good to go.
Well, the head coach.
And meanwhile, he's got smelling salts hanging out of his helmet, because he had to be shocked back to life.
They asked the head coach after the game.
He's like,
and he
concussion
says
protocol. He says in protocol.
Well, he goes, well, from the injury, from the looks of it, I thought it was a concussion as well, but it turns out he has his back tightened up on him. That's what made him fall down a couple times. And I'm like, what? A back injury?
And so they have to list him in the injury report this week to stick with the story to not get busted.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with Miami.
You're going with Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Miami too. I wanted to go against it. I wanted to say this is where the Bengals turn it around. It is in Cincy. Not with that
offensive line, bro. Not after what Miami just showed me against Buffalo. They were in Josh Allen's grill all day long, and if that turnstile offensive line that Cincinnati's got, no way.
When the Bengals defense doesn't look too great this year, so
no. But I mean, Waddle's hurt; he might not play, so it might just be the Tyreek Hill show. We'll see. I think if they were playing Sunday, it'd be a better game. I think the Thursday part of it is going to hurt Miami on injuries, but we'll see. I don't trust Cincinnati to be able to play a team. The Dolphins, I think, are real.
You've got Patriots in Green Bay. I got the Green Bay Packers winning this one, especially if they don't have Daniel or Mac Jones.
They will not have
with Mac Jones.
100%.
In Green Bay.
Give me Green Bay.
Give me Green Bay. Vikings Saints. This is a 8:30 in the morning, all the way over there in London game. I got the Minnesota Vikings winning this one.
That's kind of a prime time game. Hopefully he doesn't wet the bed. Give me the Vikings.
Yes, that's sad. I don't trust the Saints. Browns and Falcons. I went with the Falcons on this one. They're at home. They've been playing. They've been fighting hard. I think they get the victory over the Browns, and Brissett has a bad game.
Jacoby screwed me last week, and we're going to go with him, and hopefully he doesn't pull the Baker Mayfield and screw me this way.
All right. I got Commanders at Dallas. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. I think that's an easy pick. They can't. They were terrible against. If they can't stop Washington if they can't stop the Eagles, they're not going to stop Dallas from getting to wins 80 billion times.
I mean, the Eagles sacked him 9 times. I believe Dallas does the same pass rush. They were in. The quarterback's face in the Giants. I think they've harassed every quarterback they've played. I think Dallas's defense is too strong. They don't have to put up very many points to beat Washington. I think give me Dallas.
Detroit hosting Seattle. I got Detroit finally winning this game.
Their defense is pretty good. Offensively, I think they'll be able to move the ball up and down the field. They are going to be short. DeAndre Swift, he's going to miss 2 weeks with a shoulder, and that offensive line is still kind of banged up. But Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown and that offense there, they might be able to get in a week or two that wide receiver from Alabama back. Jamal Williams will take over for Swift. long as he doesn't hip thrust into a penalty, he's fine.
I love Jamal Williams, man. I love that guy.
And so it should be a Lions victory.
Titans go to Indianapolis. I got the Colts winning this one. I don't think the Titans fit back-to-back games up. Indy, they just beat the Chiefs. You'd think they'd be able to beat the Titans. I don't trust any of these teams as far as I can throw them, but coin flip here gives me the home team in Indianapolis.
Give me the Titans because Derrick Henry actually looked like he was trying to start to get to midseason form and bowling some people over, and so let's go with that.
Chargers, Texans. We both taking the Chargers. I'm guessing. I don't know why you would take.
Yeah, as long as
Texans.
Herbert plays. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, Chicago travels to New York to play the Giants. I got the Giants winning this one. The Bears are just horrible, just terrible. And the Giants have had some success of winning. And I guess the Bears have too. They're 2-1, but they're horrible. Give me the Giants. And that's pretty bad because the Giants aren't very good either. But
yeah, and they just lost their wide receiver, though. Give me the Bears. I think Chicago's defense might be able to put some pressure on Jones and make some mistakes. And Chicago's run defense is pretty good, so maybe Saquon won't, have a game. I don't know.
Eagles host the division-leading Jaguars. Never thought I'd say that this year. I got the Eagles winning this one. I think their defense is going to get to Trevor Lawrence and make him just flustered all game.
I mean, with the way they've played, yeah. But Jacksonville's offense has put up 35. Give me the Eagles. Yeah, I can't until they prove me. Until somebody gets to Jalen and get to Hurts and make him do something. I have to go with the hot hand.
Jets go to Pittsburgh, place the Steelers. I got the Steelers in this one. I could see the way the Jets win, and maybe I wanted to go with the Jets and say this is the game that they decide Pickett needs to be in, but I just don't trust the Jets that much.
It is week 4. They might have their starter back. I still think Pittsburgh's defense is too much for them. Give me Pittsburgh.
Bills and Ravens. I got Bills winning this one. I think
they're too tough.
They're going to bounce back.
And they'll give Lamar fits. They won't let him. He won't be out there running around. They don't play that game.
Cardinals, Panthers. I got the Cardinals. It's pretty easy.
Oh God,
Panthers are garbage. Absolute trash. One of the top lowest, one of the worst 5 teams in the league. There's no way the Cardinals lose to that. No way the Cardinals.
Yeah, that could be the Kingsbury ticket out. Yeah, give me the Cardinals.
Broncos, Raiders. I got Raiders winning this one. I think they finally get the first victory, and we'll sound the alarm again for the Denver Broncos.
They are in desperation mode.
They're at home.
And
if they go 0-4, we might see a coach. You might
McDaniel. I would like to see the hot seat, the Vegas numbers on where McDaniel's. I bet he's plus a couple hundred to be the first guy out.
With the talent they have, this team to be 0-4 would be outrageous.
Nathaniel Hackett is right behind him.
Might be a one and done.
He hasn't made a full season. He didn't make a full season where he was at to begin with.
No, Nathaniel. I was saying with Nathaniel Hackett, if he goes the whole year, which he will, one and done. But anyways,
yeah, give me the Raiders.
Chiefs and Rams, Chiefs and Bucks. I've got the Bucks winning this one. I got the Chiefs winning this one, not the Bucks.
Yeah, that offense has not.
They can't compete with Kansas City.
Kansas City only put up 17 against the Colts, though. I think Mahomes comes out and tries to kind of revenge himself and from a bad week and put some points up on the board. Give me Kansas City.
All right, last game, Monday Night Football, Rams versus the Niners, and this one was tough for me because Jimmy G gets the team playing pretty good, except last week, what a debacle that game was. But I went with the Rams. I think they're going to be able to fluster Jimmy G, get to him constantly. and I just don't know if they're going to win. Their defense to me isn't as good as the talent they have on it. I've got the Rams winning this game.
Garoppolo is the Rams' kryptonite. He is like 6-2 against them,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna stick with what works. Give me the Niners.
I knew there was something there, and I almost went with that too. All right, we got our picks in for Week 4. The Week 4 games. All right, guys. Well, we are going to head into the headlines. We've got a couple of headlines of the week here for you right after this. All right, guys. Well, headlines of the week here. We got some injuries to go over. We've got some basketball scandal still, but first we're going to talk about the NFL getting rid of the Pro Bowl. And my gosh, can I get a hand clap, Craig? Can we get a hand clap? This Pro Bowl, the Pro Bowl has always been just a crappy thing to watch. I don't even turn it on. There's no point in the Pro Bowl. They're getting rid of it. They're going to do a flag football game instead. It's going to be a week-long thing. They're going to do a flag football and a week-long skills competition. I love this idea. I think, and we've got to give a little credit to NFL for trying something different and actually getting rid of it and trying to change it because they know it's bad.
Yeah, they listened. They I think they almost got rid of it. I mean, the guys that play in the Super Bowl weren't participating anyway. They were replacing guys. They were putting guys that were didn't deserve to be. I mean, it was a glorified All-Star game. It was the worst of all the major sports, All-Star game is what it was. It was
Oh yeah,
horrible,
it's patty cake out there on the field.
Yeah, nobody can rush, nobody can blitz. It was a 95 points because we're playing two-hand touch. Now
you're gonna have them. I think you're gonna see more. Just the players having more fun. The flag football. I like the skills competitions.
I just hope they
like
don't do the flag football in the sand and people out there blowing out ACLs.
Yeah. I like the tic-tac-toe kicking, in the field goal. Those type of things are always pretty cool to watch. So I commend the NFL for changing it finally, and we'll see what that looks like this season. So kudos to them. Some scary news for the Cleveland Browns fans. The Myles Garrett got in a car crash leaving the practice facility the other day. He's released from the hospital and he's okay. No life-threatening issues, anything like that. He did injure his shoulder and strain his bicep in the accident. He might miss this week's game, I'm guessing. I don't know how bad off he is, but scary news. Good thing that he's okay though.
They said he was in a vehicle that was 0 to 65 in 3 seconds, and there was no drugs or alcohol involved. But yet, it sounds to me like it was kind of like a Tiger Woods thing where clearly the speed limit posted on the road is a road that had like a hairpin turn in it. And basically like he was supposed to turn and just kept going. And if you look at that car, it did not look like there should be two people that walked away and lived to tell about the story. That car was a mangled mess, and so the fact that they are somewhat okay and that he's going to be deal is a miracle.
Yeah, that car did not look like he would walk away without something going on, and so it's good news for him and the family and the Cleveland Brown fans and that defense over there in Cleveland. And the last thing we got, we've already mentioned some of the other ones, the injuries of the other guys. So I took those off. Is Boston Celtics. We get some more news on the Boston Celtics head coach, Ime Udoka. And this is a crazy story that has just started coming out. I think there's a lot more to it. You have former NBA player Barnes coming out and saying, hey, this is ridiculous. I can't believe he was suspended for a year. And then he backed it off and said, this thing's a lot messier than I thought. I spoke without knowing the facts, and so I'm going to backtrack here and delete my tweet. And so that makes you think there's a lot more to it. The story that we've got is that it's basically the lady that works for Boston Celtics, the lady that he has been cheating on his 7-year fiance and having an affair with, or she was having an affair with her husband. She took care of all the traveling for the team. So she was getting the hotels booked and all that even for family members. And she even dealt with traveling Aduko, I don't know how you say his last name, Ime's fiance.
Ime Udoka.
Ime Udoka. She was moving his fiance around, so she knew when she was out of town to go have their little setup there. But I don't know. There's talks about maybe this wasn't a consensual relationship. There's a lot to come of this. So we will find out more as it leaks, but that's not a good look for Boston. And there's no way this guy, in my opinion, can continue to coach in Boston and might not coach. Maybe someone gives him somewhere else, but I don't think he can coach at Boston ever again.
No, and I think that's why they left this thing open as saying they were going to reevaluate it, is because they
Cat's
wanted
back. Cat, yay! Sorry, I had to shout you out, Cat.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's why they left this open, is because they knew there was more to come. They weren't done with their investigation. They asked him to stop, and he didn't. He continued to do what he was doing. There may be more than just this other lady involved. Now the question of consensual and non-consensual is being questioned, like we talked about before at work. When you say the word consensual in the headlines, it's probably not consensual. Yeah, and I really don't like what they did here. They used a very credible reporter, and his camp went to Shams Charania, who's very credible, right outside Wojnarowski, and he, 1 and 1A, they're right there together. And so when Shams Charania reports something on the NBA, people listen. Yeah. And so they go to Charania and give him this info and go, hey man, here's what's going on. Our guy's about to get, hemmed up because he was having a consensual relationship, and consensual, and they throw it to Shams Charania. And so Charania goes out there with it and tells, he breaks the story. I don't think Boston was ready for it to come out yet. I think Boston was still in the middle of their investigation and still had more to come. And, Ime tried to get ahead of it. And so him and his guys go to Charania and put it out there. And so now Boston is they're not done with the investigation, but it's out now because they reported it through NBA. So now the Celtics had no choice but to suspend him until the investigation. They're like, we're going to suspend you. Yeah, that's on you because you went and told everybody. So we're going to suspend you until we figure out what's going on. And now that they're starting to find out what's going on, they're not liking what they're seeing. And I think his days in Boston are over. And it will be very, very tough to see if another outside of maybe your New York Knicks or your disrambled franchises take a shot on this guy and let him be a head coach.
Was this his first year head coaching?
Yeah.
And he makes it to the championship. Boston's like, we got a team, we got the coach, we're ready to roll.
Yeah, and we're gonna and now this all comes out, and it supposedly sounds like and it sounds like the players kind of knew about it and kind of went to him and said, hey man, maybe we should focus on this, and maybe we should focus on the finals that we're trying to play rather than taking this chick to the finals with you and taking her to your room. And it sounds to me like the players got wind of it and tried to talk him down, and the organization tried to talk him down, and it didn't work.
Yeah, you feel bad for his 7-year fiance, and just a terrible look, and just terrible. Just some horrible human being decisions being made, and just crazy. And Boston's got to feel like, man, we've got the guy, we've got the team, and now it's all up in jeopardy. We'll see who they get, but this guy's done in Boston. You would have to think, and we're going to find out more as it comes out. Just like this Sean Watson thing. Just more news keeps leaking out, leaking out, and by the
100%.
end of it, we'll know what went on. But all right, guys. Well, that's going to be your episode this week. We had the NFL Week 3. I can't believe we're headed into Week 4 already. It's crazy to think we're already a quarter of the way, basically a quarter of the way done in regular season. So we will do we didn't do power rankings this week, did we?
No.
That's all right. We'll do it next week. When you remember to do that every week. But anyways, all right. That's our show this week. Episode 156. Thank you, Kat, for jumping on. We've missed you here. Feel free to share our podcast around and our stream around if you guys want. I hope you've had a fantastic week. It's only Tuesday, and looking forward to this weekend. I'm looking forward to.
I will not
football
be
tomorrow.
here Friday because I
Craig
will be in the woods hunting Bambi.
Craig is hunting Bambi on Friday, just like most of the drivers at work are apparently hunters. But all right. Well, that is our
we
show.
will be back next Tuesday with me and Brian will probably be solo Friday night.
Yes. We'll be talking about the NCAA schedule coming up on Saturday. We'll give you the top games for Week 4 and any headlines that have happened since. So feel free to share our show, guys. God bless, and remember,
keep it outspoken.